Hello everyone and welcome to game number 2 in this best of, I believe, 5 or best of 7 extended series here on Neo Planet S. So far we see San spawning as the blue Protoss on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile Gamania Sen is spawning as the red Zerg on the top right. Now, and some of you guys may be wondering, like, how do I not know if it's best of 7 or best of 5 extended series? Well, by not knowing, it actually gives me a little bit more excitement in these casts, because I don't know who's actually going to win these casts based upon the number of games. I know that there's obviously going to be a fair number of games. People are going to, be able to split the series, take a game here, take a game there. But I don't know for certain who is going to be winning until the very, very final game. So that's one of the reasons, excuse me, why I do like this being kept in the dark just a bit, as we now see this Overlord making its way across the map. So far, Sen going to be coming up on the top side here. He wants to see when his opponent takes this expansion here on Neo Planet S, and it looks like it will be a Forge Fast expansion. Now, Forge Fast expansion has become very, very common on a map like this. Zerglings are not going to be able to really challenge at all, and Sen, wanting to make sure that he doesn't fall victim to any sort of cannon play, is going to be going for these Zerglings early. The Zerglings early can clean up a proxy pylon here and establish down a hatchery. He will suffer a little bit of economic loss, but not too much, as the probe now trying to come in here, and it will in fact be able to block this poor drone from growing up and be a hatchery. There's that pylon, as that probe is going to be backing away, and it looks like Sen just goes, you know what, you're going to be trying to build a base here, I'm just going to be building a base down over here instead. And is he going to see a cancellation? If he sees, nope, he does not see a cancellation on that pylon. That pylon will be, oh, there's the cancellation there. And wow, that was a huge gamble by Sen. Sen perhaps thinking that pylon is going to be completed, decides not to wait and build a hatchery here instead. He doesn't want to cancel this one, otherwise he'd be short 25 minerals very, very quickly. All right, drone is in position. It looks like it will be 3 bases right before the 4-minute mark. Once again, a very, very common strategy, as Sen will be growing up and being a hatchery once more. It is going to be 3 bases before 4 minutes. The spawning pool is now down, and Sen is playing that strategy exactly how he wants to. Going to be landing off an inject, and now already making his way down, perhaps if not to the natural expansion, to the 3rd base in order to get another inject. Overlords are all in position, and this is a rather cute sign here. The Overlord could actually stay up on the high ground and actually be out of sight for just a little while. The Queen is now making its way over to that 3rd base. You can see the Zerglings are being very, very careful in making sure that there are no proxy pylons anywhere on the map. Queen going to be getting in position. You can see very heavy drone saturation inside the main base for now. No, 16 more drones being pulled off. So Sen is going to be running up on 3 bases and hoping to turn this into a macro game. Meanwhile, San is just setting up his cybernetics core, and now we are looking for that critical 3rd building of Protoss. Is he going to be getting down a whole bunch of gateways? Is he going for a Stargate? Is he going to be going for harassment? We need to see what San's strategy is, and he is currently just chrono boosting out a Stalker instead of a Sentry, so this isn't going to be an Immortal Sentry all-in as I originally imagined. A Sentry Immortal all-in does seem to work well on a map like this, especially if you're able to come in from the south and then wall off here. All the drones end up getting stuck. You take down the base, you take down the drones, and you even things up rather quickly. There is the robotics facility, so it could be a delayed Sentry Immortal all-in. It just depends on what other units we will be seeing. There is that Sentry now being trained up here. Overlord does spot the robotics facility though. Perfect timing on that suiciding Overlord coming in to actually take a look at this robotics facility. If now San cancels that robotics facility, that would be one of the biggest head fakes I've seen in quite some time. harvester count is 33 drones compared to 38 probes. However, Sen getting a lot of gas at this point. You can see that he is running up on, only 2 gas, excuse me, no gas inside his main, only sitting on a handful of drones here. 16 drones and now going into a Roach Warren. So he canceled the extractor and now went for a Roach Warren, perhaps to be a bit defensive. You can see that there is a Warp Prism now being added. So this is not Sentry Immortal all-in. This is going to be a straight up massive gateway push with a moving Warp Prism. Now, if you remember, the Warp Prism does have a faster movement speed, and it does open up for a lot more drop tactics. Down here at the 9 o'clock, the 3 o'clock position, Sen is rather sparse. He doesn't even have creep tumors connecting his bases yet, and that could spell out and be a very, very large issue. Warp Prism now moving out with Sentry Stalker. You can see that the Zerglings is right there. The Warp Prism is going to spot, and there is a nice round of units coming in. We should be seeing another round of units coming in, as well as the Stalker Sentry now trying to do that little bit of a push. Queen now in a bit of an engagement. And here we go. Are we going to... There's the force field trapping the Queen in just the wrong spot there. Spinecrawler now coming in, as the Warp Prism will be able to warp in a whole bunch of units. A very, very aggressive tactic here, but we are going to be seeing the Roaches. The Roaches are the counter here, but the number of units simply not enough, as the army supply is just constantly getting reinforced. Roaches now coming in. There's the pickup in order to get away, and it is now going to be dropping inside the natural expansion instead. Huge, huge play here, as the Sentry and Stalker is just preventing a whole bunch of mining, as we now see another pickup in order to get back as well. Roaches trying to attack from both sides. You can see that the Roaches are trying to stay underneath the Warp Prism. However, the Warp Prism in a bit of trouble, will fight its way back over here as the Overlord does spot it, and it will be getting away. Alright, Overlord in a very good spot, cannot get shot down at there. Oh, a beautiful Sentry sniping down that creep tumor, preventing that creep wall from going any much further. Now, what is San doing? San is actually still doing an Immortal Sentry all in. He has just been training up the Immortals back at home, and this Warp Prism has been a very, very effective harassment. Sen now sitting at 114 supply though, feeling that perhaps he has the advantage. His army supply is at 58 compared to 51. His worker supply much, much higher. San needs to do a lot of damage with this attack, and it looks like he will be able to. 4 Immortals now simply walking across the map. Is he going to take this road less travel to the south? That is the question. Or is he just going to walk straight up the ramp here? And if he does walk straight up the ramp here, yes, it looks as though all the Roaches are now trying to engage there. The Warp Prism now making its way back down, and no need for a proxy pylon. As you can see, the Immortals are just going to push through and deal devastating amount of damage, taking down all the Spinecrawlers before they even finish. Alright, Sentries are in position. A beautiful number of force fields trapping drones. They are not able to do very much at all. You can see the Sentries are pushing away all of those Roaches, and those drones are just simply stuck inside. Is this enough? San is a bit behind here. Does he have his Mothership Core? Where did it go? As we are now still seeing a lot of Guardian Shields and Force Fields thrown down. This is a beautiful number of units here to try and just counter. San is doing a great job on Sen here, as there is only now a 20 supply discrepancy, as we do see a Time Warp come in. So yes, the Mothership Core is right there hiding in plain sight. The Roach is unable to engage, and now we may see an even follow-up play come in. The Immortals only down to 3 of them, but some of them still have near full shields, if not full shields, as we are now going to be going into another engagement. There are some force fields. Roach is trying to get back. They are going to get caught out of position. Consistently divide and conquering units there. However, the Immortals unable to break past their own force fields, now trying to make their way in. Sen now behind in terms of supply. The reinforcements could still be coming in. Yes, Stalkers now being added. More Stalkers coming in into this engagement. Roach is completely being ignored, as drones now coming in for a little bit of a pincer attack. Is it going to be enough? Drones now getting caught off over here, as Stalkers and Sentries still being added. San doing this follow-up Immortal Sentry all in after some beautiful harassment, completely catching Sen off guard, and the drones are just walking to their death. The drones are not the counters to Immortals. And this, I believe, will be the GG coming in from Sen. Sen has not done any damage whatsoever. And there is game 2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 2. Please stay tuned for game 3.